Hi guys, this is Darren Benton with Performance Motorcoaches. We are up here today in Indiana. We're actually in a parking lot at the RV Hall of Fame. I wanted to do a really quick video of an XL. This is pretty unique. There's a few things about it that are a little bit different than some of the others we've done in the past. So this was a custom built coach for a customer out of Florida. They wanted a few different things inside and outside. It's kind of the number one thing. We'll just kind of jump into it. This is the 45 dBm. So it's all the XLs are quad slide. This is essentially an opposing seating setup. They wanted the opposing seating, and I'll save that for the inside once we jump inside. The cool thing about this, the Solstice paint job, which I think we've done for the Solstice so far, all standard has kind of this bluish green in the middle here. So we were able to take and change just the insert of that out to white. That is painted. It was painted at the paint shop. It just kind of gives it a little bit different look. I like having a coach that's a little bit different than anybody else's. With that said, the next one's going to be just like it. The customer liked it so much. But point being, if you say, hey Darren, I want this black, I want this silver, I want this white, we can change quite a few things, and we'll also talk about some of the stuff on the inside itself. Chassis is a Cascadia 126, so it's a long hood. It is a 600 horsepower Detroit coupled with the Allison 6-speed transmission. So definitely take that back. This is a DT transmission. So this is actually kind of my favorite engine and transmission combination with the DT. I think we've only done one of the DT in the XL, but it is an option to be able to do a DT or the Allison. I prefer having the 12 speeds versus the 6 speeds once you hit hills. Just kind of the way the automotive industry is. You go buy a new truck, it has a 10-speed transmission. So I'll run through it real quick. All the storage compartments are locked, but I can unlock them. So they will all be bed lined from the factory, and the XL does have the AquaHot 600 standard from the factory. It is actually a 3-zone system, 2 for the coach and 1 for the wet bay, and that it is plumbed to your engine. And the AquaHot 600 does have 2 electric elements. Outdoor TV standard. The chrome and then the stainless is standard as well. The big 3/4 pass-through compartment rears the axle right here. So it goes way, way, way back there. We did not option the central vac. That will be standard for 2025. Would be really difficult to add it after the fact because it does go through the floor. We'll come around back, and hopefully my camera person doesn't fall. You got it? So I kind of turned back around. The Gen Y hitch, you can flat toe here. It does come with a 2 or 2 5/16 ball assembly in there. It does have a camera plug. We go ahead and option it with the 360 cams and the hitch cam to be able to back up. Makes it a little bit handier. 2-piece rear cap. If you back into something, you just can replace just the lower portion, not the entire piece. But you can see where we continued the white around the back. Transfer switch in that compartment, also a 50-amp plug and a 110 plug within that compartment. 12.5 Onan is standard. Wet bay. The cool thing about all the Renegades, it doesn't matter if it's a Valencia all the way up to the XL. All the wet bays are basically the same as far as everything is water jetted into the plates here versus any kind of stickers to have to contend with. It does have the macerator system for the waste tanks, 75-gallon per tank. This customer optioned 3 of the 270 amp hour batteries. For 2025, it will be standard as 4 batteries. So if you want an AGM battery in 25, it's not going to happen. And it does have standard dual Victron inverters, house batteries within this compartment, and some of your lower 12-volt stuff. Come around front. This is standard, anything in the last year. If a customer wanted to do the polished aluminum there, we could probably take and swap that out for somebody that might want it. We'll jump inside. Dual Girard awnings. Notice the elevated front and rear caps to be able to match those awnings, kind of have a seamless roof line. So got all the window shades down. The reason why the floors are still covered, we just picked this up the other day from Double L. So I wanted you to kind of get a shot where you can still, you still walk through. In fact, you can just walk all the way forward and I'll run the slide out. You're good. So you still have decent walk room through there. And then I'm going to run this slide out. Just wanted to be able to see that you still have room within that. So the guys down at Double L that do all the cabinetry from Renegade hooked us up with this monster dog crate right here. I'm going to shut the door just to kind of alleviate some of the... We had everything taped off earlier. I just didn't get the stair. So this customer was excited about having a space for their dogs. And I don't know if you can tell, but that's basically a soft close assembly. Can you see how it... I mean, if you don't have a soft close assembly on your dog crate. So very impressive. They didn't want to do... They wanted basically some slats for the heat to be able to radiate out. I think it's a really cool look. Obviously, it's big. They wanted the largest potential basically in the space itself. So I'm really happy with the way it all turned out. You do have metal there. We'll probably go through and do some additional bracing for these so they don't move as much. There are some little rubber tabs there, but it was definitely impressive and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. The nice thing about this is the customer gets rid of it after the fact. We still have the sofa. Imagine the customer will probably leave the sofa with us. So other than the piece of trim right here, you would never know that this had anything else in here. So the sofa is still available. Of course, televator right back there. Standard will be all of the window shades are all automatic. This is kind of an impressive thing to see. So we did the big 36-inch tall picture window here. Definitely nice to be able to take and see all the way out. Not that there's anything to see today, but kind of cool to be able to have that big picture window there. And as time progresses, there's a lot of options. You could do, if you wanted the overhead, we could add the overhead. If you wanted to do no overheads and do two big windows there's a lot of options to be able to do. And this does have the optional villa furniture here. I don't want to bore you too much, but I'll go ahead and run the slide outs out back here. So instead of the, this is basically the Vega Touch. It will have 4G capabilities on the coach, and then you can do remote access within this. We've noticed that going over to 5G has a lot of connectivity issues logging into this, but the way it currently sets up right now, provided that you hook up the existing system, you can log in remotely, you can check the coach, you can check your temperatures, you can basically modify with anything on this all remotely instead of the other being just a Bluetooth system. So half bath right here. I always like to be able to show the coach opened and closed. So a little bit tighter half bath here, but still decent room to be able to do your business on the toilet. And then nice size cabinetry back to the left. And then we'll roll into the back. Stacked washer dryer in here. This was the other major thing the customer wanted. So they did not want the standard 66-inch wide bed. We did the 72-inch wide bed. We relocated the your electrical on each side of the bed here. We still do have the nightstands that would normally come in the 66-inch wide bed configuration. And then when the customer gets there, we'll end up probably cutting those up to try to figure out kind of, do they want just a small ledge? But at least we have all that to be able to make kind of what the customer wants. Standard, like on the Classics, what I hate is the bed plug is all the way underneath here. So if you're getting up at night and you're shorter, and then your legs end up in your charge cord to your phone. So it's nice to be able to have the plugs up there, and that was something we were able to get done with Renegade that's not standard, but cool to be able to have the 72 versus the 66. Not much has changed back here, other than they doing a few more latches. We've seen some of these TVs go haywire, so just additional latches. And then you don't really get much movement in there, but it was some of this other plastic stuff that was given away. I'm hoping to be able to do a drawer set, maybe on the 25s within this. And then we do have some coaches that we are eliminating the AV altogether. So many people are doing Starlink instead of the standard satellite. It just kind of makes sense to be able to regain that. So where aesthetically it all looks the same without having to have this kind of AV cabinet, because no one's putting a DVD player in there. It's kind of going away. So we'll come to the back. Big giant mirror here that's standard on the XL. I'll jump in the shower. They're actually going to change the showers a little bit. I had a lot of varied opinions on kind of having two different textiles within one room. So basically that would be your bathroom backsplash and then your kitchen backsplash. What they're doing in 2025 is doing just basically a tiled wall within here, and then they're going to option the floors. We've done things for various customers where they didn't want this at all. We just did a regular solid surface. They didn't want this. So there's lots of different things that we could potentially do for somebody that might want it. And then we've done a lot of coaches without this. This is not straight. It's going to drive me nuts. So it's part of the stuff that we'll go through whenever it gets to the dealership, but it's definitely not, unless I'm cockeyed, but it's definitely not straight to me. There again, this is a water hog, so a lot of our customers go, they will remote night over in a parking lot. So keep in mind, if you do this, it's a big water hog. But if you want to do just regular shower head, it's not a problem to do that. I'll take and run forward. See if I forgot anything going through. You know, I guess really the two major things on the inside were the king size bed and then this cabinet. But keep in mind, you know, within the XLs, there are several different options for backsplashes. So if you don't like this with this particular decor group, you could take and change it. Additionally, we are getting some customers, we're doing different inserts there. So we're doing basically, you know, different wood stain inserts. There's lots of different things that are out there that most other dealers won't be able to offer, or can't offer, or simply don't even know that it is an option. So I want to be able to share some of this stuff. Really cool to be able to build something a little bit different than the next guy, inside and outside. But I know I didn't have enough time to be able to get home before the coach left at the end of next week. Appreciate you guys coming out and watching the video. Make sure you guys like, tag, and subscribe.